Good morning. How is everybody? I think I found a solution to the glitchy stream problem. And that is anytime I plug my Just waiting for some folks to hop on. Don't have any hitchhikers yet, but I usually do by the Four Corners, if not a little after. There's been a lot of bigger trucks back and forth on the back road here. I'm not sure what they're doing, but well, get over, guy. Man, just because you got a big truck doesn't mean you get to hog the road. Good morning, good morning. Good morning commute to work. If you're just stopping in for a minute, leave a comment. Say hi. Maybe where you're from, what state or country or whatever. Boy, that sun is right in the window, huh? The reason I say leave a comment, I gotta change my setting here. Hold on. Chat filter, all messages. There we go. The reason I say leave a comment, say hi or whatever, is because I'm driving, I'm not able to kind of read the screen, but I do stop towards the end of the morning ride where I can actually read them. I mean, I can look over and see that there's 11 hitchhikers in the truck. You guys aren't cramped. Where is it? Oh, Austria. There. Boy, it must be what? Midnight or so? I thank you for coming on and watching. My goal here is to reach people all across the world and advocate for something that I went through, or advocate for an alternative to what I had to go through to get to where I am now. I'm 41 now. I spent most of my 20s homeless. And I want to be able to build up a community that gives those people an alternative to getting their own place, getting their license, getting their own vehicle. I mean, they'll still be productive members of society, but I want to kind of, at least in my country, my generation, the younger generation, some people older than me, they don't have the skill set to build a farm, to grow their own food, raise their own livestock. I mean, there's some people that are doing it on their own, but if we could give that alternative to, I call it running the rat race, give an alternative to that, I think society would change for the better. It's intentional tiny house community. You know, everybody's going to have their own little shelter, their house, but there's also going to be communal living spaces like living room, kitchen, hygiene spaces like toilets, shower, laundry facilities that all being commonly owned. Trying to become a Napoleonic War reenactor. Well, there. I'm trying to become a better follower of Jesus Christ. I don't like to get too preachy, but I just let people know that I am a Christian. But I talk about all kinds of stuff on here. The farm idea is my main topic. Nice. Well, good morning, brother. If that's what you are, I apologize. I can't really read the name or maybe infer gender. I assume you're a male. I do this multiple times a day. Just trying to build the community up so people get used to seeing my face. Sometimes I do flip to the back camera. Just to give people a different view, but I appreciate everybody coming on. Double tap the screen to like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing. Let's see, let's get this thing on cruise control for a while. Over here in Vienna, it's like dark outside. Yeah, so it's the middle of the night for you guys. So the other thing that I do when I'm not streaming is I do try to watch other Christian YouTubers, but I'm also looking at what streams are happening in certain parts of the world. Like, you know, when it's late at night for me, just before I go to bed, I check to see what's being played, and it seems like these online TV channels or news or weather, there are a handful of decent Christian YouTubers streaming on a regular schedule. You know, like I said, I do this every day. Monday through Friday, it's this. Saturday, it's kind of like this, but I also have the wife with me. And then on Sunday, this past Sunday, the first time I did it, I was just reading out of the Bible, asking people for Bible verses. I watch like history videos, you know, to get my facts right. Yeah. Watching videos, reading books. Let's see if I can read the name. Oh, you're the, yeah. How about this? I'll just call you, Napoleon. Sure. Napoleon, I put out daily devotionals Monday through Friday over on the Patreon page. There is a link in my channel description that'll take you over there. You can check it out. I also have $1 a month membership tier where those who support the ministry for $1 a month get weekly topical studies. The last one I put out for the members was God's Wisdom is Not Hidden. And then the study before that was Spiritual Maturity. I think I'm a little behind on the studies right now, but I think I can start cranking them out on a more regular basis. YouTube won't let me really put external links on anything. So I've got to kind of build my audience over a 2-month period that will allow me to, I've got a Facebook page, Christian Fellowship Guild, the Patreon page, but I've got to build it organically. I usually stream for about an hour in the mornings. It seems to be about 7:15 to 8:15 my time, which is Eastern Standard Time. And then usually around lunchtime, I stream for another hour, noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time. If I do work my second job, I also stream on the ride home. I'll have to read that one when I stop, brother. You are my number one fan this morning, it looks like. When I do stop to read some comments, I'm also going to read some Bible verses as long as time allows. So if you guys have a Bible verse you'd like read out, or verses, you'll probably read a few. Just leave it in the comments, book, chapter, and verse. If you have a question about faith, me being a Christian, leave it in the comments. If you have a prayer request, leave it in the comments. Even a praise of what God is doing in your life, leave it in the comments. So the reason I work 2 jobs is because my day job is a newly established automotive garage. I just do oil changes, tire changes, stuff like that, little stuff. So to make up the difference, one of my previous employers sometimes puts me to work in the afternoon. Right now we're getting ready to transition from winter season to spring season machines that we work on, outdoor power equipment. Right now it's snow blowers and ice augers. We're getting ready to transition to servicing push mowers, riding lawn mowers. Even the day job, it's coming down to the time where people can swap their studded snow tires to something that's not studded. So that there's a season of change coming, work-wise, hopefully farm-wise. I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm trying to clear the 1.7 acres that my wife and I live on so that we can start a market garden. We've got several things that we plan on growing. Some things we've already got in the ground from previous seasons. I've got some hostas that I've been slowly propagating. I started with maybe a handful of divisions of Patriot hosta. Now I'm up to, say, a little over a dozen. I've got, what is that? Earth Angel hosta. I bought a single plant a couple of years ago, and now I've got 2 or 3 divisions. I've haven't planted garlic in the fall, because up here in my growing zone, that's the time to plant for next season, is the previous fall. I think I've got, I'm just starting out, so 9 bulbs that should be harvesting this coming fall. If anybody knows what red columbine, it's a flower, grows back every year. There was some growing on the property. We're doing 50 miles an hour. There was some growing on the property when we got there, and I did a little bit of research, figured out how to collect the seeds. So I've got a lot of red columbine seeds, probably about 2,000 red columbine seeds. Then we've got some bush type beans, like garbanzo beans, navy beans, that kind of stuff. Anytime we've had bell peppers, we've saved the seeds, so we have all the different colored bell peppers. We're hoping to have some chickens at some point, some egg layers. We'll probably, if we don't have a greenhouse by next fall, this coming fall, we'll probably just butcher them. I know a couple people locally that know how to butcher chickens, so I've never done it before. But I'm sure I've got some people that would be more than willing to take some whole chicken. Plus, having eggs every day is really nice. I can't see your name, but good morning. Hello. Just this morning, we're talking about future progress of the farm that I'm trying to build here. I'm also a Christian. Don't fear, I'm not gonna preach at you all morning. That's not the gift that I was given by God. It was more teaching, and kind of hard to do that while I'm driving down the road. But I encourage you to hang out. Be a hitchhiker with the rest of the crew. Leave a comment, leave a question. I'm more than willing to read any of the comments, the questions. I just can't really do that while I'm driving. I know Napoleon might still be on here, but looks like I've got 3 people on here. How are you guys doing this morning or evening, wherever you are? Oh, the other question I had, if anybody's willing to answer, is how is the quality of the stream? Is it glitchy? Is it coming through all right? I've noticed the last several streams, I haven't had the greatest quality. And I think that's because for some reason, when my phone is plugged in charging while I'm streaming, it reduces my reception or quality or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it was affecting my ability to stream. Very glitchy. That's unfortunate. That's just the nature of the beast. The only other thing that I've thought of that I could fix or do to fix that problem is to get a signal booster for my phone. Because you're on EU Wi-Fi. I mean, that could be the problem too. I've had a lot of people say that the stream is glitchy, but then again, I've had people say that the stream is fine. So it could either be my end or whatever you're using for internet, or every stream is uploaded to YouTube for replay. I mean, I don't know how entertaining it would be to watch it on replay, but I make it available for everybody to watch it back. YouTube also cuts a clip, it's short, that it uploads. So, and I don't have any control over what clip it cuts. I do have an option to make my own clip. Usually takes the previous 49 seconds. We're getting closer to town, so as we get closer to town, the quality of the stream might go up. I know you said you're on EU Wi-Fi, so that's bad. Right now we're, I'd say, almost halfway to town. Oh, there's the sun. No, I really do appreciate any numbers that I get. People coming in and watching for a few minutes, helping me troubleshoot the stream. I do see that there's at least one like up there. If you haven't already, double tap the screen, get the like number up. Nice, now I'm up to 2 people. Good morning. Oh, gone again. Alright, let's flip this visor around. I'm probably going to flip the camera to the back camera. See how that works. I'm afraid some stuff might be in the way, so let's see what it looks like. Let's get that out of the way there. There, that might work a little better. Does anybody drink coffee? Tea? Tea? Do you have a favorite tea? Hot tea, cold tea, iced tea? Fiat White. Never heard of that. I think the closest thing that we might have over here in the United States might be like Earl Grey. Sleepy Time is a nice brand, as far as I know. What do you guys want to talk about? Because if I start preaching, people are going to start disappearing. So, Napoleon earlier said that he was or they said that they were a war reenactor. I live in America. Well, America's a pretty big place. There's North America, there's South America. That's why I'm a little specific when I say I live in the United States. Because there's been I guess it is a meme. There's been a meme going around about using the term America. I live in America. My best friend lives in America, but he's thousands and thousands of miles away. He lives in Peru, but that's still in America, isn't it? Here we go. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell by the camera, but I live in a place where it snows a lot. as I said earlier, snow season's coming to an end. I can feel it. Quite warm, not quite warm, but warm enough to start melting this stuff. Yeah, no, it where I am in the drive, because I could be sitting in my driveway and have a decent stream, but then on the ride into town, it might be bad until I get to the other end of this road. I thought about a couple of ways. Like I said, the cell phone signal booster, I could probably pull off. I do have an inverter in the truck. I don't know how much power those things draw, but I think that might help my my stream quality. Yesterday I did a stream. It was a muted stream. But I had an index card that I had the camera on. It said, welcome to the live stream. Comments, prayer requests, questions, praise. And then I had my Cash App on the card, which I'm not really asking for money, but I do want to progress the farm a little quicker than it's going right now. You know, like I said, I work 2 jobs, and that's just to pay the bills. A little bit of money here put away for certain projects. We've got several projects on the property that need to be done. I'd like to expand the kitchen house because that's separate from our tiny house. We cook in there right now. I'd like to set up a shower or something in there, some hot water. Trying to put together a generator, but not a regular generator, something that is say out of a common car that's easy to maintain, something like a Honda, Toyota, something that I could use to do multiple things. I'd like to run a hot water heater off an inverter off that generator. Let's see, charging a battery bank, doing a couple more things than that, gathering some heat from the exhaust. I've got to heat, at this point I've got to heat at least 2 buildings. They're tiny houses, one's 8 by 10, the other one's 10 by 12. I'd also like to get a greenhouse, something where I can start seedlings or extend the season on the other end, you know, in the fall. If I had the greenhouse, that would also be a place where I could put chickens in the winter, because my plan is to have mobile chicken pens during good weather. Appreciate everybody that's been hitchhiking this morning. If you don't know what hitchhiking is, I mean, I used to do it when I was a kid, not a kid, but teenager, because I still live in my hometown. You gotta go out to the road, the big road. It's kind of hard from doing it from back in the woods where I live, but once you get out on the big road, where there's a lot of traffic, you gotta walk backwards and stick out, well, for us, you gotta stick out your right thumb. And that's usually a sign that you're asking for a ride. Sometimes, you know, getting into town could be multiple rides because the people that pick you up aren't necessarily going where you're going. Some people only ride for a mile. Some people ride all the way into town with me. But that's what a hitchhiker is, somebody who asks for a ride. You don't really see it a whole lot nowadays. I mean, I haven't seen a hitchhiker in real life, like, been a hot minute, so a couple of years probably. But I was telling a Christian on his stream this morning that I tell you guys, you know, at least for the Christians out there, this is the easiest platform to go out into the whole world and preach the gospel, the good news of what Jesus Christ did for us. He made the ultimate sacrifice to cover our sins so that we can enter heaven if we'll just accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. Oh, and I was looking at my analytics last night, and it shows only 43% of the people that watch my streams and watch my videos are from the US. All the other viewers are from other countries. It only shows me the top two, which are, Poland is one of them. Japan, I think, was the other one. Boy, there's quite a line of traffic back there. They're not piled up right behind me, but so I just wanted to step back to the farm aspect of things. The red columbines might be the way that I fund the greenhouse, because I've seen at other greenhouse or nurseries, they sell the red columbine for $10 a piece, and with 2,000 seeds, say only 1,000 grow, and I sell them for $5 a piece, and I sell all of the 1,000 or more. That's $5,000 or more, which should definitely get me a decent greenhouse or two. Depends on how I get them built, whether it's DIY or custom built, and maybe enough money left over to get my generator system up and running. Boy, it seems like every morning I'm rushing to get to the bathroom. It's like I just finished my cup of coffee and then I head out the door. I never think about using the bathroom before I get in the truck. This is the point where I can take that visor out of the way. Yeah, there we go. Well, that group of traffic caught up to me real quick. What a beautiful morning, though. What a beautiful morning. God set all this in motion, and every sunrise reminds us that he who doesn't work doesn't eat. The sunset reminds us that there is a time for rest. The noonday sun reminds us that we should stand firm in our faith That's not sun god worship. That's just appreciating what God has done in our lives and how he reminds us every day that he's in control. Really? You're just gonna pull out in front of me like that? It's probably not a wise idea. All of a sudden, there's no cars behind me. Isn't that weird? Oh, I knew I wasn't gonna miss that. I drive this 6 days a week, and you'd think I'd know where that bump is. It's like every other day I hit it. So if anybody is watching, because YouTube says 0, and if you are a Christian, how do you share your faith? This is for the people that are watching the replay, if you do. How do you share your faith throughout your day? At work, when you go to the grocery store? It's unfortunate that YouTube usually takes about 12 to 18 hours to process the replays. And even then, I have to make them public. Slow people. Every once in a while I get people that are in less of a rush than I am. I'm not really in much of a rush because it's not even 8 o'clock yet. I just feel rushed because I gotta use the bathroom. It's about a mile away, but it might as well be 100 miles away. It's as I've gotten older, I've noticed that it's harder and harder to make it, I don't know, what, 40 minutes without having to use the bathroom. Oh. What are you braking for? There's nobody in front of you. Oh. Man, I can't wait till warmer days when it's not so cold. So again, I usually get the big bump in numbers at the beginning of the stream, and everybody complains about the lag. Well, I asked people this morning, but I think I have a solution for it. Not sure how much that's going to cost me. Oh, but I sure do have to use the bathroom. Something wicked. I shall return. Well, I've got a few minutes here. Let's see. What do I want to start doing? Proverbs. Lamentations was good. I was reading last night on the stream, but that was a little dark. Looking for Proverbs. Verse 1 in chapter 1 is just kind of an introduction. So starting in verse 2, it says, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. To understand a proverb and an enigma, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother, for they will be a graceful ornament on your head and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait to shed blood. Time to go to work. Husky Love. I think I've seen that Jeep at work. Got a red light here, so let's see if I can. I'm not from Austria, I have heritage from Europe. I live in the US. Okay. The Haitian Revolt was the only successful slave revolt ever. They call Austerlitz Napoleon's greatest victory because he was outnumbered by the Austrians, but the Austrians fell into an ambush tactic. Yeah, that's what's up. Learned something new today. Look at that. I'm sure we were taught that in school, but history wasn't really my greatest subject. It was math. I really like math. Spelling and words, because, the act of spelling is a spell. I don't mean to get esoteric or anything, but spells are very specific, or spelling is very specific when the usage of the word matters. Like the words hour and hour. One is a reference of time, and the other one is reference of ownership. This is our land, where we have an hour to get to our land. See, on the stream that on the commute home, somebody used the word plethora, which which is Plethora, plethora, or plethora. It is pronounced different ways. There's the city bus. Yeah. It's crazy that they're always looking for drivers. Same with school buses. Go down here selling gas for $2.87 a gallon, $4.44 a gallon for diesel. That's another thing, is if I could find a little diesel engine. I know there's a way to purify waste oil and mix it with diesel that it would still run in a diesel engine. There's certain ones that can handle it better. I just can't remember which ones. Some of the older engines are more capable of dealing with mixed fuel like that. Oh, the sun. Here comes the sun. How does it come up on camera? Not bad, because I've got the camera pointed off and to the right. It's only 8:08. This parking lot gets so busy at noontime. There's only one car here in this parking lot. Our parking lot, empty again. Oh, the inverter's making a bit of noise. If you guys are local and need some quality automotive care, Quality Automotive, 922-2043. I'm a little off. That's whatever. Thank you for everybody that watched. I hope you have a blessed day, and you'll see me later.